Okay, it's been a while since we talked to you, and that's good because we'll be able to show you how much progress has been made on the garden. We're still pinching flowers off of strawberries. We're just letting them grow out this year. Y'all already knew that. Marigolds are coming in good. Something we like to do is if you've got a flower like this one, let's say that it got wet tonight, and in the morning it looked like it was mildewing or something, then what we'll do is we'll pinch it off so that all the energy can go to the plant and not use any energy, not waste any on a dying flower. Like you can see them where we pick them off. If they start turning black or something, you know how wet flowers do. We just pinch them off. That way you grow a better flower coming up behind it. I'm gonna say these onions probably about ready to harvest, and then we can do another replant on those. Look at how that lettuce is taking off. That lettuce is taking off real good. We come back and we planted some more lettuce in through here. And today we thinned our green beans. Once you get past 2 leaves, so you started out with these main leaves that come out of the bean seed, and then you started with these other ones. Once you get past 2 leaves, thin them to 8 inches apart, or in our case, every other one. Because we planted them close together, because we knew that some wouldn't make and some would. And that way when we spaced them out, we got a pretty good even spacing. You got spots like this though, where you had 2 of them in a row that didn't make it. So what I could do there is when it's time to plant above ground crops again, I could come back and do a second planting and have a bean plant come up right there. And that's probably what we'll do. What we do with these, all we did is just pull them very gently at the base, grab them and pull them up so you're not disturbing the rest of the root system. And I think the reason they have them spaced 8 inches is these use a lot of nutrients because they're going to put off a lot of beans. And if you've got them real close together, then you're going to end up with a bunch of green beans that are stunted or that might have disease, might be more prone to getting problems. So I think that's why they do that. So now your soil has more nutrients to give to those plants and you can make better beans in the long run. I thought about feeding these to my chickens, but they're so wilty, they're not crisp. So we're going to save them for the compost. We're going to start making our own soil out of, we got some decomposed leaves going. Quit doing that, it's making too much racket. We got some decomposed leaves going. We're going to amend that and try to bring it to a really good pH over the winter. So I'm going to be starting a pile for like stuff like this to add back to the soil, because this will add nitrogen. Yeah, you could, that smells good enough to eat. I come out and eat that in a salad. Green bean salad? Why are you looking at me like that?
Disgusting.
What do you think?
No, I don't care. I wouldn't eat it.
You know?
You're gonna get the coronavirus after you get done eating that.
Coronavirus.
Yeah.
It kind of tastes like a green bean. Here. Have some green bean. You want to try it for real?
It's nothing like a green bean.
A little bit. Okay. So what we did on 4 of our beds, 4 of our 5 beds, last week, over a week ago. If you got to do it, you got to do it. You're cultivating. But if you can get your hands on some wood mulch, you can lay your wood mulch down. That's going to do 2 things. That's going to keep weeds at bay if you made it thick enough. We're going to come back and thicken some of this up around these beans. It's too thin. But If you made it thick enough, it's going to keep your weeds down, so they're not going to grow, so you're not going to cultivate as much. And it's also going to keep the soil warmer, and then a third thing, it's going to keep it wetter longer. And it's also going to protect it from big downpours. So, like we have here, we had radishes are just kicking it. I probably made a mistake and planted all the radishes way too close to each other. If I did make a mistake in that, then I'll just correct it next year. So you just go to this mulch that we laid, and if I peel it back to the soil, then I can still, you know, leaf mulch soil. It's not going to be muddy. It's not going to stick together like clay. I can just, now the other day we had a lot of rain, and you know, this just ain't. I checked it the day after, and it just wasn't muddy. And so that leaf mulch does a lot for us. What I'll do at the end of the year at harvest is I'll rake it off the top of the bed, and then I'll go store it back in a pile. And after our soil gets worked over the winter, after the spring planting, I'll reapply it. Now you might be, you know, it seems like a lot of work, and it is, getting it on there, raking it out and all that. But I look at it this way too though. I done it, I applied it in the spring while plants were growing, and then I'll take it off in the fall. Both of those times are going to be feeling pretty good. I'm not going to be out here in July at 100 degrees or starting off your morning at 90-degree index out here having to cultivate all these beds. Won't have to do that. So all I did is I traded all that hot work for cooler work. So if you don't got it, you just got to live with it and keep cultivating. Like right here, we didn't put it around the corn because it's not big enough yet, so we're going to keep cultivating these corn beds. Something I'll say about the corn, for the amount of work that you're going to put into that corn, for what it's going to give you, which is going to be about 2 ears per stalk. If you're lucky, they'll be good ears too. Both of them will be. They'll be nice, full, good ears. So I'm looking at 3 beds. I got 6 rows. Looking at over 100 ears of corn probably. For the space that it takes up, for the extra labor, and for the nutritional value of corn in the first place, versus buying it at the supermarket already in the husk. That still tastes pretty good. You can't go to the supermarket and buy a tomato and put it beside one of these and think it's gonna, no comparison. But you can go to the supermarket and buy husked corn that's still in the husk that tastes pretty close to what you'll get out of a garden. But what I'm getting at is a lot more planting of a lot more nutritious plants could have went into these 3 beds, and they could have already been mulched too. And so food for thought. Corn might not be worth the headache. That might be a big farmer's game, you know, where you got acres and acres of it, or you're going to plant a large stand of it. But as far as these little beds, I don't think you're getting your bang for your buck as far as nutritional value and the labor. I think you could put something else here and be more sustainable. You'd get more out of your soil and out of your labor than what the corn's giving you. I'll show you our squash plant. We still got to mulch these. We started with 6 and we lost 1. Here they are. These are cooking necks, and they're going to grow up this arch, and them 2 there is going to grow up this arch, and then you're just going to be able to pick them. We'll see how that turns out. I'm probably going to give them a little shot of nitrogen tomorrow because these leaves are yellow. They're kind of turning a yellow tint. So I might go ahead and give them a little shot of nitrogen tomorrow. So that's where we're at on that. But if you look over there at them beds, look at that. That is that's really, it's doing good. I'm glad. I'm happy with that for the first year. Some lessons I learned so far is I could have planted more radishes. I could have planted where that watermelon hill is. I dedicated that half of the bed to watermelon. I could have planted stuff all in that and just let the watermelon vines grow around it. So that's something I learned. That's something I can add in next year. But anyway, I just want to show y'all how it's coming, how to thin the beans, and the work that mulch can save you. Like I said, this mulch is over. How old do you think this mulch is that we put on here? This wood mulch. When did we do that?
When did we do that?
Yeah.
Like 3 days ago? No.
It was not 3 days ago. Have you lost your mind?
A week ago.
It was over a week ago, probably a week and a half. Probably about a week and a half. And you know, there just ain't no weeds coming through here. Not really. So, whole bunch of cultivating safe. All right, y'all have a good one.